Hey, gang, good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing out there in the world of YouTube and Patreon and Facebook? No advance notice for this little thing. Just, I was working on some tech for the live streams for everything, and let me get to live here on my playback. And hang on, there we go. Okay. Working on some tech and stuff, and realized that one of the things I was trying to work out was doesn't matter. The point is, I'm out here. I got everything kind of set up to do all kinds of tech for the shows that, of course, that I do. And I figured, well, as long as I got everything set up, why not do a quick little a YouTube drop? We haven't done one of these. I did only one before ever. And I am still learning. It goes pretty smoothly. It's actually, in some ways, easier than Facebook live streaming. And I've, of course, been threatening for a while now that I was going to switch to YouTube permanently. We're not quite there yet, I know. But I figured let's just go ahead and do this one, guys. Advance notice in 30 seconds. That's right, baby. Weird. It is weird. Good to see you guys. I was thinking of going to bed, and this popped up, right? I know. You're like, what the hell's he doing? If you are watching this over at the Patreon link, just so you know, I'm only monitoring the chat over here. And there is also, I wasn't going to drop it in, but I dropped it into the Brian Live link, too. I figured let's just get everybody involved. The Patreon folks are here. The Brian Live followers are here. That's it, I guess. I thought there'd be more audiences, but that's basically it. So join us over here at the link. If you're at Patreon and you just saw it show up there on the screen, if you click on that link, the video will play no problem. Make sure you hit the live button to catch up to live time. You know how that works with these videos. And there you go. You know how a live stream works. But if it's not working for you over there at Patreon, because I know it kind of acts up, I got to check one quick thing. Hang on. I'm going to check. I'm going to change one thing. There we go. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm back. Sometimes they don't really play as smoothly live in the Patreon link. And if you're over at Patreon commenting, I guess all I'm trying to say is I'm not really monitoring that window. I have it open. It's right here. Okay? Okay, so what is the purpose of this video? Well, it's to check all this technical stuff. And what I really want to do, I should not watch it to be surprised at Bristol. Well, Patrick Griffin, I haven't gotten to it yet. Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? That's a very good point, guys. Oh, man. Shoot, Patrick Griffin just brought up a good point. Okay, here's what we're going to do, guys. I found... And I hope that the YouTube licensing agreement is going to allow me to do this. If the show gets slammed down by the algorithms, you guys know that it was because of, well, whatever, the YouTube algorithm. Okay, because I found somebody that shot my show, and I believe I've reached out to them before on YouTube or Facebook or wherever. Yeah, drink, guys. I'm not drinking today. I take a day off, so I'm drinking, hipster water here. So if it slams us down, it's going to slam us down. Which sounds weird and dirty, but don't worry about it. It's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to queue up a video. Okay, it's going to pop into that. There it is. Okay, there I am. This was shot at the Florida Renaissance Fair a while ago. The date on it is 2013. So this is me 8 years ago. Okay. I get shot all the time. Videotaped and shot. People shoot at me, and I'm a giant monster. Grr. All the time. And usually it's not great. No offense to all the tourists out there. You come to see a show. I love having you out there. Thank you so much for coming. But just so you know, scheduled, I will say I'm always surprising. Oh, thank you so much. Most of the footage isn't great. And before the internet, every now and then somebody would come in and hand me a dupe. Here's a copy of some footage I shot of you, Brian Brune. Okay. And I'd look at it. And then I started not even looking at it anymore because it didn't matter. It was never great. The video that you film at an event like a Renaissance fair, it's for you to enjoy. It's a good memory. I didn't need it because I had the show memorized. Looking at it, I'm hyper critical of myself. I hate watching myself perform. And I've already done a little bit of checking on this footage that I'm about to show you guys. And, well, I don't want to bury the lead here, but it's going to be excruciating for me. Not that the performance is bad, and not even that the footage is bad. The footage is actually pretty good. That's why I chose this one. Now, I'm not mentioning who shot it because I'm not sure if they want to be mentioned, but I did reach out to them a while ago, many years ago, and said, hey, I might use this for something, and hopefully they remember that. But I remember asking them, says, I might reference this, I might put a link to this, and they're like, use it, have fun with it. They're supportive, they're fans. And the idea of watching this is to get the show back in my head. Now, this is 8-year-old material. It is the bones of a basic Brune show at a Ren fair. Now, a lot of you guys know, if you've watched me, the basic bones are the structure, and things go off on all kinds of tangents all the time, okay? As I'm watching this, I know there's a lot of much newer material that isn't in this footage. But for the past few years, this is the footage that I've been looking at. Now, if you have more current footage of me, by all means, reach out to me, put it up on YouTube, get me some more modern stuff, because what I promise I'm going to do every year, and I swear to God I'm going to do it, is I'm going to film myself or just record myself. I don't even need the visuals. I just need to set my iPhone next to me on stage, hit note, audio, whatever it is, note, whatever the hell it is, record, and record my show. That's all I need to do. That's literally all it would take. Do that on the last day of my Ren Fair season every year. That way, study that before your first show the following year. It'd be simple. But clearly, I'm not a grown man, and I can't remember how to do that. This year, a much truncated season. I will not probably evolve all the jokes as much as I normally do by the end of the season, but I'm going to force myself to do it. So this is footage we have of me 8 years ago. It has all the bone structure of what I would call your basic Brune show. There's a couple little tangents and nuances and tweaks that aren't in here. And the reason why I know that is because I studied this video 2 years ago before my first shows, just to make sure I had it in my head. And I kind of went through it and got it. And then I did the show that weekend at Florida, actually, the same gig, probably the same stage. And a few jokes popped out like, oh, that's right, I forgot that joke. Oh, okay, cool, got that. And cool, that was fun, a little new joke. And then like 2 shows later, oh, that's right, that little chunk there. Okay, cool. Stuff that isn't in this footage. And there's a lot of it. So you're not going to see a cutting-edge Brune show here. We're just going to check this out, guys, and I'm going to try to get it back in my brain here. You can only drink that water if you're wearing shorts with superfluous pockets. Lauren, I am wearing gray blue jeans, and I got a blue plaid shirt, if that counts. The classic Brian Live shirt, which I wear so damn much, guys. It's got a hole in it. All right. We're not going to watch the whole footage today. I'm going to do a lot of stops and starts. We're probably just going to stream here for maybe 20 minutes more, not the whole show. And then we'll do this again another night this week. And I'll give you a little bit more of a heads up, okay? But this was just me. I had all the equipment. I might as well go for it. Every time he says bone structure, I can't not giggle. Please do, Nurse Polish name. Okay, so let's look at the footage. You guys let me know if the audio is a little too quiet on the footage, okay? I got to get 2 screens. I got to get 3 screens queued up here. Hang on, guys. It's a little more confusing here now that I'm doing a YouTube thing going on here. All right, here we go. Let's get this down there. Let's click into that screen, and here we go. What you do, why does it go crack? I'll do it again while you're thinking. Sorry. Okay, now already, it's not the very beginning of the show. I've already walked out. This is the Florida Renaissance Fair. I have long hair. That's a banner that I still do use. It's faded quite a bit. Already, I don't like how I look on stage. Okay. But is the audio good for you guys? I think it is. I have to wear this to hear it at my end. I can't play it over the mic, or we'll get this horrible feedback loop. So forgive the earbud.
Ryan, you're out of time. It's called the sound barrier, Ryan. Maybe you haven't. You're young. You haven't learned that yet. The sound barrier, Ryan, is an invisible barrier that surrounds all living things. It's comprised entirely of tiny, invisible dwarves. These tiny, magical dwarves stand upon.
Now, a quick behind the scenes here. I am very much aware that the word dwarf isn't. Audio seems good so far. Okay, cool. I'm aware that word isn't what should be used. Okay. When describing a person of small stature, and I have some friends that are little people, and I worry about that from time to time. Now, I'm at a Renaissance fair. There's a fantasy element to it. So in my mind, when I say dwarf, I'm thinking Tolkien. I'm thinking Middle-earth. I'm thinking that kind of dwarf. I just want you guys to know that, okay? When I say that joke, I'm always worried. Every now and then I'll see a little person out there, and I'm like, ugh. And you may have noticed I dropped the word magical there. Now, I know that means that at that show, I was a little overly aware of that. Don't worry, I'm not going to just dissect this as much as this the entire time. So right off the bat already, I can know where my head is during this set. I'm already a little aware that I don't want people in the audience to be weirded out by it. By the way, this is not a large audience. You can hear me well. I am wearing my mic. The person is sitting in the front row. They're getting my audio very well, but whatever they're using probably 8 years ago, it might not be a smartphone. It might be a handheld video. I don't know. You don't hear much. There is laughter and there is clapping. You're not going to hear much of it. It's kind of, the audience isn't mic'd very well. God, is that an insecure thing to say or what? Oh, hang on.
Each other's shoulders, making a giant wall of dwarf-like humanity. When Uncle Broom throws the whip out there, Ryan, the end of it travels over 700 miles per hour, forcing two of those dwarves apart.
Obviously,
there is then
having a beer
suction
there.
created, which rips them back together. They crack their skulls, make that noise, and die instantly. Whenever a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Whenever a bullwhip cracks, two tiny invisible dwarves are killed instantly. That time, just one.
Does it hurt you when it hits you?
What's that?
Does it hurt you when it
It does hurt when it hits me. That's why this next moment's gonna be awesome.
Awesome!
Cool.
I thought you were
And by awesome, Ryan, I meant that I will do something cool and I'll get a smattering of indifference.
Okay, right there we just reached, and I am not saying it along with it. I am just getting it in my head. You just reached a first Brunish type moment. And if you follow me on Patreon, you already know a lot of this background stuff. If you don't, go ahead and follow me on Patreon, guys. I didn't put a lot of notes in this video because I just threw it together very quickly. And what's a Brunish type joke? It's a reactionary comment on what just happened. Okay, I cracked the whip. If I have the audience in the right frame of mind, in the right state, there'll be no response there, or very little. And then there's some follow-up jokes that I didn't do just then because there was a bit of clapping, as you heard. So I had to riff that little bit about it. As you can see, Ryan, a smattering of indifference, I think is what I said. So that's always funny because over the years of doing shows, I have a few jokes in my set that have I can't have a response here. I got to perform it so that they won't respond, or the joke won't work. And there's a good example of it right there. What I really want to have happen there is have no response whatsoever. So as you can see, my physicality is not real dramatic. I do the trick, I hit the pretzel, and then I don't go, ta-da, I do nothing is the goal. That's why my physicality is so bland so far. It's on purpose. I'm trying to keep the audience very low-key. Anyway, this is excruciating. I hate, oh, God, I hate my voice. I sound really rough like this the whole time. Now, it is, I know, because I do mention this later in the video, it's President's Day Monday, so it's the end of a 3-day weekend. And it looks like it's the first or second show of the day, so my voice is barely surviving.
Really? Really? No. I know when you're sucking up. I'll do it again. Now, yes, it's a comedy show. I'm more of a comedian than a variety guy. I'm going to keep you guys laughing. But every now and then, I'm going to do something genuinely impressive. Prepared to go nuts.
These days, I say, I go right for it. I say, I'm going to do something. Yeah, it's a comedy show. I'm here to make you laugh. Every now and then, I'm going to do something genuinely badass and freak out. I throw badass in there. It's kind of an aggressive term. I don't curse, of course, really in the show. I drop one S-bomb, and it is coming up. I may not get to it tonight. So yeah, I think I like saying badass better. Is all I'm saying. Okay.
We'll do it again, and we'll hit the smaller target, so that ought to make this even more impressive.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole nother bit of business there that isn't on this video that has happened in the past 6-7 years. If you guys know what it is, there's something I say normally there, but I'll hit the remainder of the target. And I might be getting to that part. Hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I like you guys, and because I can't come to your homes, I'll do something even more impressive. I will hit the next target out of my...
It's always tricky getting the eyeballs on my hand. Not known. I have yet to figure out a way of having it rigged into my doublet. I have pockets in my doublet installed so I can do card tricks and stuff. And I have yet to figure out how to get those suckers on me in an elegant way that the audience doesn't see. Majority of the audience has no idea what I'm doing. If they've never seen the show, they don't know what that's on my hand right now. But I got to figure out how to get that on.
Now, if you want to see it, say yes.
Yeah. No. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Just do it.
Another thing, when you get a tourist video, you're hearing the audio very loudly of the lady filming who's a fan, right? But if you ever film stuff, remember, if you go, yay, or you're playing along with the joke, your voice is going to be the dominant thing. So just keep...
That's funny. All right. Lighten up. Let's have fun today, shall we? You know what's weird about this? I did this the first time at a show. I thought of this joke, literally, I'd hired to do a gig, and I was on my way to the gig.
Literally.
I thought, wouldn't it be funny?
I'll say that
I put
word again.
eyeballs on my hand. I said out of the mouth, my little eyeball mouth hand over here. I did the joke that night. A guy walks up to me after the show and says, Brune, when you first hit the pretzel out of your hand, I thought that was all right. But then when you put the eyeballs on your hand, I cared more about your safety. Apparently that guy was more impressed when my hand became Elmo without skin. La 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 la, with my face. Are you filming? It puts the lotion on its body or it gets the hose again. Sorry, that was creepy.
Very.
That's how the show works. I'm not going to cut.
Now, just then, obviously, that's a pretty dark little joke reference. It's a Silence of the Lambs joke, of course. Again, this is a slow Monday morning show. The audience is not mic'd very much. I don't always say that. I mean, if I look out in the audience and I see it is mostly families, which it probably was on President's Day Monday. Hang on, let me go over here really quick. Yeah, okay. Just making sure I'm still alive. And I only brought that up because this show, I can tell by how I'm delivering it that I know that it's a more family show. You'll hear me throughout it refer to a lot of the kids. I'm trying to say, you know what, can I be this guy? Since back and I did this show 8 years ago, I have developed that kind of show better. If you ever see me at a morning show at any gig, any Ren Fair, the morning show is the show that I call the tourist show in my own head, and now I tell it to you guys, the family show. The one that isn't going to be as dark and edgy. I'm going to slowly make it happen, and I'll make references to that as the day goes on. So the first show, I've gotten pretty good at doing, because I wasn't always, at doing a good, solid, touristy show. You know, all the jokes are good and clean and family-oriented and everything. So, and that is what I'm trying to do there. I can tell by my delivery.
Booger, booger, booger. Ryan, there you go. One-handed. Oops, there you go. Eat it.
He did.
Don't worry, sir. It didn't hit the ground. We're good. I wouldn't let him eat it off the ground. He'd get Ren Fair cooties. That kid would wake up tomorrow with an uncontrollable urge to make jewelry and live in a van.
that joke is rhythmically wrong. I think that joke is pretty new back then. What did I say just then? Live in a van and make jewelry. Make jewelry and live in a van. Live in a van and make jewelry is the way that should flow. Make jewelry for a living. Wait, what did I just say? Let me go back. I'm curious now.
There you go. One-handed. Ooh, there you go. Eat it. Hit it back there. Crazy. Go nuts. I wouldn't let him eat it off the ground. He'd get red for cooties. That kid would wake up tomorrow with an uncontrollable urge to make jewelry and live in a van.
Make jewelry and live. I'm not honestly sure how I say it now. I know that one way sounds better to the ear. I think I've talked to audiences before about this. It's the whole Mooney and Brune, Sonny and Cher thing. Jokes matter. Rhythm of dialogue matters. So when you're doing something like this, you can screw a joke up and make it not rhythmically be as pleasing to the ear if you do it in the wrong rhythm. And I like the rhythm of voices and sound and stuff, so I'm a big fan. Okay. Where was I? Okay, I'm going back.
Behind the back. If I hit it back there, crazy, go nuts, right? If I miss it, silence. I will know by the fact that you're quiet. I must have missed the pretzel. I'll do it again. Third option, I missed the pretzel, then instead tag myself in the butt with the supersonic crack of a 6-foot bullwhip. Make a lot of noise to help cover up my girlish screaming, all right? Somebody get me to first aid. Here we go.
Okay, there's a joke there that I'm remembering that's not there. That's at the point where, say, somebody volunteered to suck the whip venom out of my hiney. And if the audience laughs at that, I acknowledge the kids and I said hiney because there are kids here. Normally I would have said suck the whip venom out of my ass. So even I'm not going to say it here. So I got to.
Should be lower. All right, there we go.
By the way, this is when my doublet and pants were made by the same person and they have like a little matching piece of fabric.
Just be quiet, all right? No. We had a deal, didn't we?
How you guys doing out there? Let me see another comment or two to make sure that you guys are still alive and the algorithm hasn't shut down the show, because I am a little concerned because this is not my video we're watching. Looks like I'm still alive, so we're still okay.
He's a nice kid. I like him. What's your name right here, lady in the plaid and the beer? I think I said hi to you earlier today. Yeah, what's...
Okay, there was a whole chunk there that got missing, and I just now remembered it. It's the whole chunk where I talk about if I hit this target, open your mouth. I told the kid to open his mouth. That's right. I said, Ryan, open your mouth. If I hit this just right, it'll land right in your mouth. You get a snack. If I screw this up, you get a severed broom finger you can give to one of the scientists from Fifth Element to make a brand new Lilu. There you go. See, that's not in this video, but I just literally right now in front of you remembered that, which is a great line because it gets a bit of a laugh, and it also separates the nerd culture people from the non-nerd culture people. And of course, that's me. I'm a nerd culture person, so I hear you, Lauren. All right, just to make sure. I know we're all just kind of watching this and we're not really interacting. Just to make sure that we're still cool. Again, this is only like my third ever YouTube live thing. I think I'm going to stop right there for tonight. And we're only 5 minutes into the show. That was the whip routine. I think we'll do it again with the card trick routine, then again with the fire eating, then again with the finale. Kind of break it up. And the reason why is two reasons. One is I'm hungry. I wasn't going to do this the whole time. Two, the family's waiting for me. I think we're going to watch The Heights tonight. So I'm going to go in there and get some pork chops and applesauce maybe. So that was cool because I remember the joke about the eating the pretzel or getting the Brune finger. I remember the joke about somebody volunteered to suck the whip venom out of my hiney. I say hiney, of course, so that because there's kids here. If there weren't kids here, I'd say suck the whip venom out of my ass. That's a great joke. I really like that. And so, yeah, pretty excited. Looks like my camera's having a hard time catching back up with my sudden motion-like face. Let me just go ahead and get rid of that. So I may be a little blurry right now. Oh, there we go. I'm coming back to focus. Again, I did a lot of tech stuff today, and things are coming together, but it looks like I had a horrible, not a horrible show, but boy, technologically, the show I did on Saturday was a pain in the ass. I got through it. I think I've solved most of the problems. The Lilu joke is fabulous. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the mosquitoes are getting me, guys. So I got to get out of here. You're welcome, Kelly. We're going to do this again. I will give you guys more of a head start on it. I just kind of wanted to get the technology down, and I wanted to do a YouTube live video. This one, as you can see, is not limited. Anybody can see this YouTube video. Normally, 99% of my YouTube content is limited only to people on Patreon. So you know who you are if you're on Patreon. And don't worry, maybe one of these segments will be just for the Patreon people. Okay. So thanks very much, guys. I honestly don't know. Whoops. Hang on. I just recycled the screen there. Let me go back. Oh, what did I just do? Uh-oh. I may have just left the show. Okay. Bye. If I'm still on, bye. If I'm still live, guys, I'm sorry the show ended so clumsily. I just did a two-fingered swipe here. Oh, no, we're still there. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just did a little swipe thing there, and if I got a little confused. It looks like I didn't ever leave your screen, but I got a weird screen at my end. Anyway, I'm still learning how to do Facebook. So let me go back to stream settings. And I guess how do I eventually... end stream. There's the button. Okay. I found it. Yeah, I know I'm still here, guys. I did a double finger swipe on my laptop, and it went to a different screen, and it confused me. All right, but I am back now, guys. Thanks for sticking around with me. We will, on the next episode of Brian Remembers' show, we will get to, I guess, the card trick part of the show. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Good night, everybody.